to Week 15 NFL predictions. Every pick for every game. Let's go.
All right, well, of course, we always start with that Thursday night game. We go in that chronological order. Big word of the day here. Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Herbert probably, well, no, he will be out. Could miss the rest of the season. And at this point, I would advise him to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah.
It's a wash. You're 5-8. There's just no, even if you win out, you don't control your own destiny. You need other teams to lose, and you're not going to win out anyway. Especially because I'm going to go ahead and pick the Raiders here to win at home. I get a more stable coaching staff, a better run game, and right now, I just get a more disciplined team and a more disciplined defense. We could say what we want about the Raiders. They actually have a lot of talent in key positions. They have a star receiver. They have a good back. Their left tackle is serviceable.
Yeah.
They have a good edge rusher. They have the positions that you need to be scrappy, to be competitive. So I think they win at home here.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I really just don't trust the Brandon Staley factor of this game, especially if you're going to be missing Justin Herbert for possibly the rest of the season. That's like the one piece of the team, the one
it's the only spot I like.
That's like pulling your bad decisions. That's kind of like attributing to wins every now and then.
It's the only thing I like about the team.
Yeah, without him, there's nothing to like for the Chargers. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah. Let's go move to the Saturday games. We have 3 games on Saturday, NFL Network special. We'll start with the 1 o'clock game on Saturday, the Vikings at the Bengals. I think we're both going to go and take the Bengals here.
Yeah.
The Vikings, first of all, Josh Dobbs in concussion protocol. I don't mind Nick Mullins. If he's your third-string quarterback, you're fine. But I think Jake Browning right now is a backup second-string quarterback. He's playing better football. I don't trust a third-string guy to go on the road. Pretty cold weather. I like the Bengals to go ahead and win here somewhat thoroughly. Would it surprise me if the Vikings keep it close? No, because at the end of the day, would it surprise me if Jake Browning came back down to earth a little bit? No, but I think as of right now, he's the better quarterback on a better team.
Yeah, I think the same things there. And plus, you have, I think, the better coaching staff, and we've talked about it recently.
I do like Kevin O'Connell, though.
I do like Kevin O'Connell, but the Bengals coaching staff has shown that they are very, very competent. They've gotten better. Zach Taylor is, I mean, I think he's very underrated. People don't talk about him when they talk about like the really good coaches in the league right now. What he's been able to do with Burrow and turning this entire franchise organization, giving them a culture and identity, something where now they're competing for AFC North titles on a yearly basis.
If they play their way into a playoff spot, I think he deserves discussion for Coach of the Year.
Yes, I don't think he gets it, but I think he's in the conversation.
Because that would mean they basically win out with Jake Browning.
Yeah.
Right? And yes, they lost the Steelers, but from 2 weeks ago, so that Jags game on, if they basically win out to get to the playoffs, I think he's in the discussion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Steelers at the Colts. We're both going to go and take the Colts. I just don't trust anything about Pittsburgh, especially if Trubisky's starting. Hell, even if Kenny Pickett's starting, I'm not sure I like it. I'll go ahead and take the better offensive staff. I'll take right now the better quarterback in Gardner Minshew to win against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's rumblings of Mason Rudolph getting the start.
I'd be here for it.
Look,
just throwing that out there. I'm here for it.
No matter what quarterback starts in the black and gold, I'm not taking him this week. I've seen them disappoint against really bad teams now 2 weeks in a row. There's nothing that makes me feel good about taking them here. And we were talking about it. They probably lose out, but would it be the most Pittsburgh thing ever to like beat Baltimore on the road in the last game of the season?
Yeah.
So this is just not a spot where I like them.
Plus,
it's a very competitive Colts team who's also fighting for the same reasons that Pittsburgh is.
I feel like every time we go to Indy, it just doesn't look good. Like I feel like we always struggle at Indy. Broncos at the Lions. First split here. You're going to go and take the Lions. I think the Broncos right now are the better football team. You think I'm crazy? They started 1-5. They've now gone 6-1 in their last 7. That's a good football team. On the flip side, Detroit narrowly escaped the 1 week against Chicago. Then they lose to Green Bay, lose to Chicago again. They are on a little bit of a skid. I just don't trust right now their front 7. They've been getting run on, and we know Denver can run the football. I will take Denver to win on the road over Detroit.
Okay, I'm taking the Lions. I think at some point they have to start bouncing back, right? This team, we've seen them be built up now for the last, 2 years, 2.5 years. I like the way and the style that Dan Campbell has them play. It hasn't looked good over the last 3-4 weeks, but I think there is a point where that has to start turning around, and I don't fully trust Denver. Yes, they've looked better, and they've been kind of catching a little bit of a hot streak, but streaks need to end. I think the cold streak for the Lions ends, and the hot streak for the Broncos ends all in the same week, right?
I think Detroit's going to Detroit. That's all. Let's go with Atlanta at Carolina. We'll both go and take Atlanta. They're the better football team. I don't like anything about Carolina. I don't like their quarterback. I don't like their coaching staff. I think Atlanta's a much better team.
Yeah, I agree. There's not much to be said here except for, it's bad when we're both taking Atlanta, and when we both agree that they are the better team in the matchup.
We almost never take Atlanta.
That shows you how bad Carolina is.
Yeah. Bears at the Browns. Browns are a better team. I just don't know who's blocking Myles Garrett. I just don't trust the Bears up front to keep Justin Fields upright. I like the Browns to win at home.
Yeah, I like the Browns as well. And the answer to your question, nobody is blocking Myles Garrett. I don't care who it is.
And Joe Flacco's playing well.
He is.
I think Joe Flacco's the better quarterback in this game.
If I would have told you that in 2023 you would have been saying that Joe Flacco is the better quarterback in an NFL game, what would you have said?
I'd tell you you're crazy. Yeah, wild. Let's go with the Giants traveling down to New Orleans. I think New Orleans is going to go ahead and win this football game. Tommy DeVito's a very good story. He's actually a very competent quarterback. Not a good quarterback, though. I worry about him going on the road to that environment. That's a tough environment and a good defense, especially in the secondary. I'll take the Saints to win.
Yeah, Saints here. I think DeVito is good. I think he will end up being pretty average this year. I just don't think this is a game where he comes out and shows out against the Saints in that secondary.
They've won 3 straight. Like you said, every streak's got to come to an end. I just don't see this getting to 4 straight.
Fair.
Chiefs at the Patriots. Big bounce back spot for the Chiefs here. I'll take them to win. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays close. It's going to be in Foxborough, cold, maybe some snow on the horizon. Running the football, low-scoring game. We know New England's defense is legit, and so is Kansas City's. I think it feels very 13-6, 17-6 type of game. Yeah. Close. Gritty game. I'll take the Chiefs to bounce back, though.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs. I just don't. I agree with you on the whole being close thing. I don't trust the receivers, any offensive pieces to really do anything that crazy. We haven't seen.
I just don't know who's catching the ball. Who's making consistent plays for Patrick Mahomes?
Nobody.
Even if you say Travis Kelce, he limps like 3 times a half. You know.
So that worries me a little bit, but I do like the Chiefs here.
All right, Bucks at the Packers. Going to go and take the Packers. They're at home. I get the better quarterback. I definitely get a better coaching staff. Matt LaFleur is fantastic. They're going to run the football a little bit. I know the Bucks have a decent defense, but I'll take Green Bay to win.
Yeah, Green Bay here. They've actually been playing pretty well.
Also, warm weather team coming up to cold Lambeau. Don't feel great about that.
In the middle of December?
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for the Bucks. Texans at the Titans, I just don't know. We don't know about C.J. Stroud yet. He's in concussion protocol. Leaning towards he's going to play, but who knows? If he plays, I'd maybe lean the Texans. You know what? I think even if he doesn't play, I'm going to go ahead and lean Texans. I just don't see the consistency with Tennessee.
The Will Levis thing confuses me.
They go out and play really well against Miami. Would it shock you at all to come back home and kind of have a little bit of a letdown spot in a divisional game? Tough defensive coach DeMeco Ryans. He's going to have his guys ready to play, especially off of a bad loss against Zach Wilson. That defense is going to have their hair on fire.
Yeah, I like the Texans here. And just what you said, I don't trust Will Levis at all. The Titans team is so hit or miss. I can't bank on that, and I can't predict that when there's no trend to show me.
One week he looks like baby Josh Allen. Next week he looks like Jay Cutler. I just don't know what to get.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm getting. Let's go with the Jets at the Dolphins. Dolphins in a huge bounce back spot. Tyreek will be back. Maybe not 100%. I think he'll be back, though. I like the Dolphins to go ahead and win. We said, what are the odds Zach Wilson strings together 2 straight really nice football games?
Very, very
Very
low.
slim. He hasn't done that since BYU.
Yeah, Dolphins. That's the side.
Yeah. It's almost unfair to ask him to play consistent NFL quarterback when we know he can't do consistent NFL quarterback things.
Yeah.
Niners at the Cardinals. Niners are a better football team. I worry with a divisional game if it stays close, but I do think Brock Purdy, I get the better quarterback, better coach, better roster, clean sweep, Niners.
Yeah, same thought process there. Way better coach, way better roster. But the divisional thing worries me a little bit on betting taking the 49ers.
13.5 is a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
Commanders at the Rams. Rams can run the football. They can compete with basically anybody in the league when they run the football well. Yeah. If Kyron Williams is healthy and that offensive line's playing well, which they have been, they can play with anybody in the league. And we know the Commanders aren't any. They're a nobody in the league. So I think the Rams win comfortably at home.
100%.
No disagreements over that. Okay, another split here. Cowboys at the Bills. The Bills played well for me this past week. I'm going to go ahead and take them again. The Cowboys are coming off a very, very physical game. I know that the Bills also had an emotional game, but there's just something different about playing the Eagles, especially at home, divisional game. Right, that's a lot of energy. Buffalo comes back home. Same idea. We get an indoor team traveling north to Buffalo in mid-December. I think Buffalo wins. It's going to be close. I'll take them by a field goal. I think it's going to be a game for the ages. Kind of going to remind me of that Minnesota at Buffalo game from last year when Minnesota barely squeaked one out because of that fumble at the goal line. Mm-hmm. I just think Buffalo comes out on the right side this time. Entertaining game of the week level game. I'll take Buffalo to win close.
Yeah, I was going to say this is our game of the week, so I don't want to step all over it too much here, but I do, at the end of the day, I like the Dallas side. I love the Dallas.
I think they're a better football team going forward. I think it's just a tough spot.
It is, and that's why it's game of the week material, because it's, I don't want to say a coin flip game, because I feel fairly confident in Dak and the Cowboys at this point, but like, this is going to be a matchup.
It's pretty close to a coin flip game. It's 2.5. It's almost a pick 'em. So, all right, Ravens at the Jaguars. Both going to go ahead and take the Ravens. Better football team, the Jags. Trevor Lawrence still isn't fully healthy. The offensive line hasn't been playing well. He's been getting sacked a bunch. I'll take the Ravens to win. They have one of the best pass rushers in football, so there's a mismatch there. Ravens win.
Yeah, I like the Ravens here as well, and it wouldn't shock me if this was pretty lopsided.
Plus, there's no home field advantage in Jacksonville. None. None. No. Eagles at the Seahawks. Final split of the week here. I'm riding with Seattle. I think they're undervalued at 6-7.
Wow.
The last 2 weeks we've seen them, they've been scrappy. First of all, Geno Smith healthy. They hang 35 on Dallas. I saw the Eagles hang a whopping 6 offensive points against Dallas. I think Seattle's going to be able to score. I don't know if Geno's going to be fully back. He was a game-time decision this past week, so I would imagine with an extra week of rest, longer week because it's a Monday game, he's going to be a go. I think they're going to run the football. We've seen Philly get got in the run game. I know it's weird because their front seven is the strength of their team. I saw San Francisco run all over them. Power run game with Seattle. They're going to win this football game at home. Eagles coming off a rough stretch of football. Seattle over Philly.
The Bird Bowl, huh? I'm taking the Bird Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Just because they're a better team, better roster?
Better team, better roster,
I think it's
coach.
Fair. I think it's very fair. This is the game I feel least good about, but I still feel pretty decent about it.
I was surprised when you
I still feel pretty good about it, though. I don't know.
I was surprised.
It's a tough spot for Philly.
All right. What are the splits?
I got Seattle. You have Philly. I'll take the Bills. You have the Cowboys. Then on Saturday, I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos. You're taking the Lions.
Perfect.
I feel good about it. Let's go ahead and get